Hello, everybody. No, imagine I fucking started it like that. Just started doing the whole podcast like that, bro. I had to.
British accent. Do it.
Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. Today, my guest is actor, event producer, comedian, Leo Mates.
Hello.
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 Okay, so honestly, like, out of 10, how bad was it? Like,
what, your accent?
my accent, yeah.
You know what? It was a good comedy British accent.
My lady hates my British accent.
I feel like every American and Canadian has a British accent up their sleeve. Most of them are shit.
Yeah.
But it varies so much because you get people who can do like a good comedy one, and I think that was a good comedy one because it's just broad.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get people who like think they are actually very good at doing a British accent.
Yeah, but they sound like me.
Not.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're the ones who are like, "Oh, did you believe I was British for a bit?" I'm like, no.
I've always thought, like, when it comes to like actors, that British people and like Australia, just people with like thick accents, generally can do North American accents better than we can.
I have heard. I don't know enough about like the actual like mechanics of accents, but I've heard that a North American accent, or your standard American accent, is much easier in general for people to do because it's a more neutral accent.
Gotcha.
Like how it sits in the mouth. Having said that, I know plenty of British people who are so bad at American accents. In fact, it was weird. I was listening to an audiobook a couple of months back, and it had been recorded in Britain, but a lot of it was set in the US. And there were so many incredibly bad American accents in it. I was like, this is really weird. I feel like you could have just found some Americans. But having said that, like, I think the other part about it is British and Australian people and the rest of the world, we see so much more American television. And, consume so much more American stuff than any other place. Whereas, obviously, it's plenty possible for an American and Canadian to see a lot of British TV, but you're going to see a lot less of it than we would. Mm-hmm. Vice versa.
Definitely. And I definitely have. I do like a lot of, like, British humor, obviously, like... The classic Monty Python shit, and
it's just great.
Currently, like, my lady, she loves Downton Abbey, and like I'm not crazy about it, but like I got it for her. Like I got her like the box set for Christmas.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah, I'll watch it with you, because for like the whole time we've known each other, she's been trying to get me to watch it, and I've been like,
I've never watched Downton Abbey. People who love it.
It's not amazing. The first couple seasons were better, and now I'm just waiting for it to be done, bro. We're on like the 4th season. I think there's 5. So
there's a movie as well, isn't there?
We're almost there. I think there's 2 movies. So I think I'm committed to those 2. But those are the kind of things you have to do when you're in relationships. Her next thing. So we kind of like do this. I don't know if you and your lady do this, but like we just kind of. Use that stuff as leverage. So now, because I watch Downton, I'm making her watch Family Matters.
Nice.
So we're gonna go through that just after Downton Abbey, but
we don't do that as much, just because we have quite similar tastes in TV. But every now and then, I think actually generally what happens is if we have shows that we watch together, and there's quite a lot of them because we like them. And then when like one of us has an evening alone, that's when we're like, I'm going to spend this time catching up on whatever show that I watch that she doesn't watch, or vice versa. Yeah. So, like, if I'm out working of an evening, she'll be like, okay, I'm going to catch up on, like, Love is Blind or something.
So she likes... You're not a Love is Blind guy?
I don't like reality TV that much.
I'm not super big on it. Like, either. I tried to give that one a shot earlier on.
Yeah.
Like, when it first... I think they're on, like, I don't know, what, season 4 or something now? I don't know. But they're deep in it. I gave it a shot initially, and it's just not my... It's not my thing, man.
Yeah,
and most reality TV isn't.
I really like scripted stuff,
Yeah.
I like a show that's been put together really well, and like has a lot of very talented people working on it. And I'm not saying that reality TV doesn't. Like, I know it is put together very well, and it is an impressive thing. But I like a really well scripted.
It's a little more shallow. I feel like like when you can like write something well. What are you currently watching?
Right now, we just finished The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, yeah. great.
And we are rewatching Rome.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh man, that is that was like the sort of proto Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Because there's so many of the Game of Thrones cast were in it, mostly because it was a BBC HBO thing, and you'll find British actors, especially on HBO. They just do all the shows. Like I feel like if you get into one of them, then you're set for life. But it was like that same kind of like grand scale as Game of Thrones did. Obviously not fantasy, but you know, Game of Thrones was always more historical than fantasy. And it's a perfect show. I love it.
So what'd you think of Last of Us season finale? Okay, so because me and my lady were a little divided on it. And like, I'm not saying he didn't do anything wrong. Okay, so spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it right out the gate.
Skip the next few minutes.
But like, so the ending, obviously her, like the beginning of the episode was her explaining that like, we're not doing this for nothing. We're gonna, you know, go and achieve our goal. We're not stopping halfway.
Yeah.
And so she was very clear that she wanted to do it, but I don't think that she
knew that she was going to be
risking her life to do it.
Like, she just thinks she's getting there and having an injection, and then, you know, she'll have saved the world, which, I get it. I would also be like, no, we're not stopping halfway through. We can save the world.
Yeah, for sure.
If I knew that I was going to the end and, like, we can save the world by me dying.
But
I'd have to think about it a bit
lady
more.
who,
The Fireflies lady.
She didn't care at all about Ellie. She was extremely selfish. I felt like he did the right thing by taking her out of that situation. But I just feel like I drew the line when he didn't tell her the truth. Like, I'm obviously... I haven't played the games, by the way. I don't know if you played the games.
No, I haven't. I did know that was coming because I'd seen... Like, well before the show was being made, people had told me about the ending of the game.
Gotcha.
And I, at the time, was like, well, I'm not going to play the game, so I don't care if I know.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, dang.
Yeah, see, I don't know a lot. I don't know if that... How do you feel, like, knowing some stuff about the game? Like, I have some people, after episodes come out, and they'll be like, that didn't happen in the game, or, like, kind of stuff like that. But, like, do you think it...
I don't like when people...
your experience watching the show because you know a little bit?
No, I knew where it was going, but I didn't know how it was going to get there. I'm a big one for... I would prefer to go in blind to something like that, but I'm not going to let the fact that I know what the ending is spoil the ride, because like otherwise I could just watch a show. I'd watch the first episode and I'd watch the last episode, and then I'd be like, cool, that's what happened. I want to see how the whole thing happens. And you know, especially when you get moments like episode 3, which I don't think was even in the game.
No, it had nothing to do with the game apparently, but it was a great episode,
and it was a phenomenal episode.
Oh man, dude, at work, like that's a very like. There's one of my dudes who's like. I don't know, and like I joke around and I do call him homophobic, but I don't necessarily think he's like we have we work with trans women and like we like no one there's no prejudice, you know, everyone inside like a kitchen, like we're all misfits in different ways, so there's never any like judgment or anything like that. But like he's like, yeah, that made me uncomfortable. I couldn't watch it. And in my mind, I was like, that shit kind of deserves, like, its own spin-off,
right?
Almost. Like...
I mean, sort of, but I also, like, I think it's so perfect that I don't want anyone to ever touch it again. Because I want to just go back and have it. It's such a, like, perfect little encapsulation of a story.
Yeah.
Within a bigger one, and that it was phenomenal.
It was an emotional episode. And, like, both of those, I had just... Like, obviously, Ron Swanson. Like, I know, that's who I see when I see... I don't even remember his real name right now.
Nick Offerman.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's who I see. And the other guy, I had just watched...
Did you just watch White Lotus?
Yeah.
He's so fucking good in that, right? He is, dude. Like, So me and my girlfriend watched... we watched both seasons of White Lotus, but, like, we got to the end of season 2 and we're like, I miss Armand from season 1, because obviously a whole new cast. But I was like, he was just so magnetic on screen. I'm trying to remember his name. It's Murray Baker, I think. It's Murray Bartlett. And he was just magnetic on screen. Like, I love watching an actor who you just watch them on screen and you go, I could watch you do anything. I could watch you read the phone book for
Yeah,
hours.
yeah.
And you would. Do you watch Better Call Saul?
I watched a bit of it. I kind of fell off after like the third or fourth season, but I didn't
you
finish
won't
it.
have seen the guy I'm thinking of. There's a guy in Better Call Saul. The actor's name is Tony Dalton. It's the same kind of thing. Oh, he was in Hawkeye, the show. Did you watch that?
I haven't watched Hawkeye yet.
I didn't watch it. I just heard he's in it.
Okay.
I was tempted to watch it just for him. Point is, he's another one of those actors he's just, you watch him and you just go, oh my god, I could watch you do anything. Because you are just the embodiment of charisma on screen.
You know who I think is like that? And I'm going to suggest a show for you and your lady to check out if you haven't seen it yet. Shrinking.
The new Jason Segel one.
Yes, and it has Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
And this really funny, this black woman who's like, I mean, I don't want to give anything away, but she's like probably the funniest part of the whole show. And yeah, I feel like you'd like it. It's just weird because it's on Apple TV, and it's like who has Apple TV? You know? Like I illegally downloaded these episodes.
As one does.
Yeah. I feel like you should definitely check it out. There's 9 episodes. You can even watch it on there's lots of websites
we do have Apple TV.
Oh, you do?
My girlfriend's parents have it, so we
amazing.
have it.
Definitely check it out then, man.
Yeah, we'll give it a watch.
Yeah.
I have it every time we've been watching something on it, it has been advertised. It's because we were watching Ted Lasso the other day, and it just kept advertising it.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a try.
You see Severance?
No, that's on our list.
That's another good one.
I'm excited
That's on
for
Apple
it.
TV.
I like Adam Scott.
Oh yeah, man.
I like the other people in it. I can't remember who.
And this is like one of his best things. And
Nice.
I'm a pretty big fan of his as well.
He's great. Did
Yeah.
you ever watch Party Down?
Party Down?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it was a show. I think they've just brought it back, but it's a show where him and a load of other people who you recognise, like Lizzie Kaplan's in it.
Yeah.
Jane Lynch is in it.
Okay.
And it's like a bunch of out of work actors who are like working in a catering company, and it's them on each episode is a different job they're doing.
Okay.
So it's like a totally different background, new supporting characters coming in, but it's funny, and especially, I don't know, I watch it and it reminds me so much of being an out-of-work actor and working. Like, I didn't do catering, but I worked on bars.
Yeah.
And it's exactly that same kind of vibe. Like, you're a load of out-of-work actors all working together, all, like, you know, being friends about being actors, but also, like, being like, oh, what you're getting a read for that part?
Yeah, they're like each other's competition, right? Yeah.
And getting that weird dynamic, and, like, it really nails that down, so... I watched it and I found it very funny. I also was like, whoa, I don't miss that.
So what came first for you, man? Was it like, because I know you're like an improv guy. You just started doing stand-up recently. Mm-hmm. You mentioned theater. Like, what came first?
Theater came first.
Yeah?
So I started acting pretty much straight out of school. Like, I started doing plays at school. I was a very quiet child. Like, we moved around a fair amount when I was a kid, so like I wasn't great at being social or talking to people. And then like one day I just auditioned for a play at school. I can't even remember why I did it, and ended up getting it and loved it.
Do you remember what it was?
The first show I did was a very short one called The Shotgun Wedding by a French playwright called Molière. It was short, it was silly, it was really fun. And then I auditioned again for another show, which I got, that was called The Pitchfork Disney. That was a full-length play, and I was the main character in it. And, like, it was a lot. Like, I would say roughly 75% of the play was me talking. It was a lot of, like, long... There was, like, a 15-minute monologue in the middle of it that I had. It was a lot for like, my second time ever on stage. And I loved it.
Well, I think, like, those kind of roles are a lot even for... Like, not everybody can do them, man.
Yeah. And, like, don't get me wrong, no, I'm sure if I went back and looked at it now, I would be like, that was awful. But in my mind, it's the best performance I ever
did it, though, man. Yeah. You know? And it was a learning experience, so, like, there's nothing...
I
Nothing to be ashamed.
Yeah, I look back on it as, like, one of the proudest moments in my life.
Yeah.
Because I just fucking did it. And also, like, there was a moment in the middle of it. It was right at the end of the 15-minute monologue where I just finished it. I looked out at the audience and I could just tell every single one of them was, like, in the palm of my hand. And I was like, this is what I want. This is my heroin. Like, I'm never going to want to stop doing this. And so then I came out of school. I went to drama school for a year. Went to Stratford-upon-Avon and like was doing plays and training and learning there. And then went to university, not to do acting, but like I got a degree in ancient history because it was the only thing I was good at school. But mostly just to get the degree, but also I was doing a load of like plays and stuff at uni, and again, still just learning, and then came out of uni and went full-time into being a professional actor. So like theatre was my thing for a long, long time. Then I ended up working in like a lot of immersive theatre, which isn't so big over here, but it's huge in London. Mm-hmm. And that was involving doing a lot of improv for it because it's immersive. You've got the audience are like part of the show. You're having to naturally improvise with them because people will say random ass shit. And then sort of was doing that for a few years and then was like, you know what, it would be really nice if I knew what I was doing when I'm improvising. Mm-hmm. So signed up for some improv classes, fell in love with doing that, and that led me into doing comedy. Like I sort of realized like, oh, you know what, comedy's really fun. It's really fun making people laugh. Yeah. And then that was my career.
Yo, man, I feel like memorizing 15 minutes is like, just as someone who's, it seems like such a, like an insane, I've always had mad respect, like comedians like George Carlin who just have bits where they talk for like 10 minutes and don't stop.
Like the proper like rants, but where you know every single line.
Yeah, like this is not. He was going over it backstage before he came out, like certain bits and stuff. Like you hear that, and it's just like the attention to detail and like the way it's kind of fascinating, honestly, and it's kind of something that scares me about acting. Like I always thought, like voice and like I'm not the prettiest looking guy, you know. So, like, voice acting... Thank you, brother.
Oh, you're welcome.
Voice acting always seemed like it would be, like, a better fit. Because, like, I feel like usually when I see them doing the voices, they have the shit in front of them. Yeah. And, like, you don't... You know? And that
voice acting is great fun.
Have you done?
I've done, not, like, super professionally. I've done, like, bits and bobs. I keep trying to get more voice acting stuff. And my agent sends me a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's real hard, though, man. Like, when you get... an audition, because it's all done now that they just send you a script and you just record, I don't know, like 15 seconds of whatever advert it is, and you just send it off and it goes off into the void and you never hear back from it. Or you do, but usually you never hear back from it. And it's... I miss auditioning in rooms with people, because like I like working with someone in the room, and that even if I don't get the part, I can tell like they liked this, they didn't like this. If I've just sent off, and especially like having not got much voice acting work, I want to know what I'm doing wrong. But I'll never know why I'm not getting the parts because I've sent it off into the internet and I never get any feedback. I hate it.
Interesting. I had another guy who was like, he kind of came at it from the other side and was like, he liked it a little bit. More because he was able to like do however many takes he needed and like that kind of thing.
Was that Pedro?
It was.
Yeah,
Pedro.
I listened to that episode.
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, and so it's interesting to see how you can have different opinions on the same thing.
Yeah,
and they both make sense. Like,
yeah, and it's completely a personal thing. Like I know plenty of people who hate going and auditioning in a room because they find it stressful, or they just don't like doing that, or like you say, they want to get it just perfect. I'm not that kind of actor. Like, I don't try and... Especially when I'm doing a self-tape or something, I am not one of those people who will do 1,000 takes. I get real bored real quick.
Yeah.
And I get real sick of looking at myself on screen. So I do it like 2 or 3 times, and then I get annoyed, and I just go, fuck it, I'm done. That's good enough.
Yeah.
I'm sending it off.
It's not going to get better.
Probably I could do better.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like, no, sorry, that's just how I am. And I'm not going to spend an entire day trying to get a self-tape perfect, because I've got other shit to do.
Yeah.
Especially because half the time, someone isn't even going to fucking see it. Like, or they are. I don't know. I'll never know what happens to my self-tapes, and it makes me angry.
It's a fair fucking point, though, man.
Whereas, if I'm in a room, I get a chance to like, charm them a little,
Definitely.
And we can even talk before or
More
after.
personality comes out in person.
Exactly.
It's like something that... I've had a couple people who don't live in, like, the GTA area. Mm-hmm. Whereas generally, that's where I do, most of my comedy.
Yeah.
I haven't been far out of the GTA yet. And they're just asking me to, like, oh, like, you should set up, like, a thing and you pay $5 and people can watch it online. And I'm like, I feel like I don't want to do it because I feel like your person, like, there's some disconnect, even with that. Mm-hmm. Like, being there in person and the person beside you laughs weird and just being apart and, like, somehow, like, some stupid joke, ends up with, like, a minute of laughter because different people are laughing at different times and they laugh at each other. And it's, like, everyone's just kind of in this atmosphere. And I think that's super important for stand-up, and it's hard for it to,
I think,
come across on tape sometimes.
I agree with you so much. And that's actually, like, it's been a thing for me throughout my whole career, because, like, that's why I love theatre and doing theatre, because I love being in a room and having, and like I said, with that first moment of me being on stage, having done that thing and looking out at the audience and going, oh, I've got you.
Yeah.
Same thing happens when I'm on stage doing improv or stand-up or whatever. Like, if I really get a laugh just right, then I'm like, yes, I have nailed this, because I'm performing to you who are here in the room with me right now, and, like, we are, I don't want to get too, like, philosophical about it, but, like, it's creating a moment.
Yeah.
And that's, I'll never get that from being on camera or performing voice acting or whatever. Mm. I still love doing those things. It's great, but there is nothing better for me than really, like, connecting with an audience and just making something that will never happen again, because it's such a fleeting moment. I love it. That's what performing is to me. I was about to say acting, but let's say performing.
You think it's easier to procrastinate, like, with this kind of... First of all, like, are you a procrastinator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to be better, but I am a bit, like, I need deadlines for things, because it means that I'll get a couple of days away and go, oh, fuck, now I actually have to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I procrastinate.
I'm definitely that way, and, like, sometimes I feel... And not... It's not a lot of the time, but there's, like, a fraction of the time that I feel like it's almost beneficial. Like, I feel like I kind of work under pressure. Like, maybe. But then I'm not sure if I've just kind of, like, created that
just
argument
justifying
just
it
to
yourself.
justify it. Exactly, right? So,
I see what you're saying. I think you're absolutely right. Pressure is very important.
Like, I still get this shit done, right? Like, I feel like that's, that's ultimately... And, yeah, so you kind of feel the same way then?
I feel exactly the same way. And I definitely do. I do it with my self-tapes a lot, which actually I know I really, really shouldn't do, because I was listening to some casting director a month or so ago, and they were saying that, like, you want to get your self-tape in early, because a lot of the time they'll get halfway through their list of submissions and just be like, found someone, done.
Gotcha.
So that is something I'm really trying to work on, but I get it, man. It's like, it's procrastinating. I think exactly what you were saying about the pressure. I need to work under pressure. I need to sort of wait until the last minute so that I feel that pressure, so that I do it the best I can. Mm-hmm. And, like, that's why I enjoy working in, like, I'm in my day job. I'm an event producer now, and, like, I enjoy that because of when we get onto the days of events. Like, if something goes wrong, I got to fix it right then, and that is when I really thrive. Like, I work so well under that pressure of going, this needs to get fixed, and it needs to get fixed now. I've forgotten what I was saying. Events, bro. It's tech conferences. They're very boring.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I was thinking, like,
they're very interesting if, you know, you're into tech and that, but, like, it's not a kind of, like,
thing that just like it's a niche.
I haven't fallen into it because I love tech conferences so much. It's because I like producing things, and there was a job with a company that does tech conferences.
All right.
So,
how'd you end up doing okay, first of all, how many jobs do you have then? Because you do the SoCap thing.
Yeah.
And you're also like a performer.
Comedy clubs, and I perform.
Yeah.
I have the event producing is like my 9 to 5.
Right.
I do other bits and bobs here and there. Just sort of, I like to keep myself busy. And none of my jobs pay amazingly, so
that's not bad, man.
I create a nice, like, comfortable salary by doing all the jobs.
Yeah, I got a 9 to 5. I do the reffing, and I do like stand up, and even with all three of those like sources of income, my lady still makes like more than me, man. But she went to school for a long time, and she's like way smarter than me.
Yeah,
so, dude, sure she deserves.
We have exactly the same situation.
Oh, okay.
My girlfriend has a PhD. Is a neuroscientist.
Oh shit! My lady's she's a chemist. My lady's a chemist. Yeah,
nice. So yeah, we're both just the fun dummies in our relationship.
Very progressive men. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Because we allow our women. No.
Yeah. Whoa. Where's this going?
No, we're good boys.
Bro, did I call you Theo?
You did yesterday.
Did you notice? Fuck.
I did.
I said it and I was like, I tried to say Leo like quick right after.
It was weird because I haven't been called Theo in ages. In the UK, people used to call me Theo by accident all the time. Here, everyone calls me Liam.
Like I don't know why that happened at all.
Sometimes it's just a slip.
I was like rewatching, like I was kind of setting up for the pod today, and I was like kind of rewatching a bit of the show from last night.
Yeah.
Or this is coming out in a bit, so the last Lafeteria show. And I heard it, and I was like, wait, did I? And I just wondered if you heard it.
Yeah, I heard it. I wasn't going to call you out on stage.
Theo, fuck you. Everybody out.
Right, lights off. No sound for you anymore. This show's done.
Have you ever run into, like, situations when you're, like, where shows are going south? I feel like SoCap's a decent spot, so maybe not. But, like, where shows are kind of going south and maybe, the audience is getting, like, rowdy or any kind of, like, scenario that is not ideal?
Yeah.
And
not so much at SoCat. It's happened once or twice at SoCat, but it's usually resolved pretty quickly by like the person leaving, or the comedian leaving.
Yeah.
Like there have definitely, I've seen a lot of people walk out of shows. I've seen people like get. I think what happens that I've seen happen most is like someone will get up to leave a show, and the comedian will call them out for leaving, which is a pet peeve of mine with comedy.
All right.
I don't like it when the comedians start saying, like, if someone is leaving or whatever, and the comedian's like, oh, I guess they didn't like that. I'm like, A, you don't know they're leaving because of that. Maybe they just need a piss.
Yeah.
B, if they are, let them go. It's not going to help you to have them then turn around and go, yeah, actually, your joke is shit because of this.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen. Like, someone got up to leave in a show, and the comedian was like, what, I guess you didn't like that one. And they turned around and just started accusing them of stealing the jokes from another comedian. And it was awkward, man.
Oh, wow.
It made the show a lot worse. And I was like, you could have just let him leave and it would have been fine. And like, I'm not necessarily blaming that comedian for that because like, it is, I think, a very natural reaction. Like if you see someone leaving to want to call attention to it because you don't, like in your head, you're like, I don't want them to just be walking out and everyone is going, oh, it's because they didn't like this. Mm-hmm. But I think it's better to stay quiet and just carry on with the show than to say it and like find out that that's why they're leaving.
In the same, I don't know, hand, I would say like, stealing jokes. Like, if that's, like, really the case.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, I don't know if they were stealing jokes.
Yeah.
Like, maybe the audience member was completely wrong. Maybe they did. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
And I don't really care.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think you should steal jokes. I'm saying in that scenario.
Yeah.
I just wanted him out of the room.
I'm trailing off
Let's
a little
just
bit.
get
I
the
was
show
just saying, like,
moving. Don't steal jokes.
Definitely don't steal jokes.
Like, if there's one takeaway from today's podcast, don't steal jokes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Don't do it, kids.
You want to get into top 5, dude?
Let's do some top 5s.
I feel like we should get into top 5.
I'm going to get my notes.
We can start with cooking shows.
We can do cooking shows, yeah.
You said you were into food. So before we get into the shows, like, what kind of shit do you like to cook?
I like to cook a bit of everything. I mostly cook Spanish food.
Okay. What's like your signature dish? We're doing like a competition here. What
It would be like a paella.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Something in that vein. So I learnt to cook. I should have learnt to cook a lot earlier. My mum's a chef. I grew up around a lot of very good food because of her. Like, she brought us up eating real well. Mm-hmm. But I never had any interest in learning to cook. For whatever reason. I don't know why. And then I got older. I went to uni. I ate absolute shit the whole way through uni.
Yeah.
And then years and years later, I was living in Spain because I was in Barcelona because I was doing children's theatre out there, and I, for the first time in my life, because it was children's theatre, I was doing a kind of 9 to 5 hours. Like, other than that, my life has usually been working evenings.
Yeah.
And so I finally, for the first time, had like free time in the evenings, and was like, oh, what do I even do with myself now? And then was like, maybe, considering I'm surrounded by like really good food and really fresh ingredients and all that, and like, you know, I lived above a vegetable and fruit shop that just sold gorgeous vegetables and fruit.
Yes.
As a vegetable and fruit shop often will. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just teach myself how to cook, and so I did.
Right.
I texted my mum a little bit, being like, can you send me some recipes, please?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Because it's a resource. But I finally learned how to cook, and so because I learned to cook there, I just really enjoy cooking Spanish food. Also, because Spanish food's great.
It's delicious.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, my go-to would be something Spanish.
Okay.
My sister actually makes fun of me for it. Like, every time I'm cooking, she's like, oh, I'm making something Spanish again, Ali. I'm like, yes, leave me alone.
She was like, Yorkshire puddings?
Yorkshire puddings are banging.
They are, though, right?
Yeah.
My God.
So good.
All right, what you got for your shows,
All
dude?
right, cooking shows.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'll start at number 5. This one is a guilty pleasure. It's a Gordon Ramsay one, The Kitchen Nightmares.
Okay, Kitchen Nightmares,
Yeah.
okay.
Now, I will watch that for hours and hours. I know I said I don't watch reality TV. When I do watch reality TV, I fucking binge it.
Man, over the pandemic, I got into 30 Day Fiancé for some reason.
Right?
I have no idea how... Oh, actually, I do know how it happened. Like, coworkers, they were watching that shit.
I had the same thing.
I
Over
don't
the
know
pandemic, my housemate was watching The Challenge.
Okay.
And so I started watching that and binging it with him.
That's
Sorry,
an alright one, though. Kitchen Nightmares is good. I interrupted you, man.
The reason is, Gilly, is I a lot of the time I'm like, he's being a dick to these people for no real reason.
For ratings, bro.
For ratings, exactly.
Ratings.
And like, I don't love the morals of that,
yeah.
But at the same time, it's very watchable.
It is.
And I will sit there and be like,
gross,
I can't believe they keep their kitchen like that.
Yeah, oh yeah, me too, dude.
So, yeah, that's number 5. Number 4, MasterChef.
Okay.
Just because sometimes it's really nice to just watch really talented people make good food.
Yeah, it's hard to watch the MasterChef Junior because I feel like some of those kids are fucking better than me.
Oh, I've never watched it.
It's wild, bro.
I think I'd feel the same.
Talent.
I'd be like, no, I don't
It's
like
insane.
this. I can be outshone by an adult, fine, but not a kid.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's the same reason I don't watch porn with black dudes. Just makes me feel inadequate, you know?
Number 3 is I was a little off base with this one. I said The Bear.
Oh, fucking right, dude.
Real good show, right?
Oh, that's on my list.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Love it.
Because I was like, I know it's not a cooking show, but it's a show about cooking.
100%, yeah.
And like, even though I haven't worked as like a chef ever, but I've worked in plenty of kitchens.
So accurate.
So accurate.
Yeah.
So good.
Down to like the utensils they use, like they're just that's not
and just the way everyone treats each other and like the stress.
Yeah. Very accurate.
I don't miss working in kitchens.
It can be a bit sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's very stressful.
I'm just good at it, so
And
it's
that's
like,
great.
fuck, you know? This is where I'm at.
You are Carmine from the Bear. You're distracting me and too damn talented.
Great show, though.
Yeah, great show. Next one, number 2 is, I don't know if you have it over here, it's a show called Man vs. Food.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
I've seen it.
Oh,
It might even be on Netflix. It's on one of the streaming things I have. That's
because they stopped doing it a while back, because he was, like my doctor says, I'll die. But I just loved watching all that stuff get made.
Yeah.
Like, seeing I remember there was one where he was in Alaska and there was some giant crab that they fish for up there and him making his way through it. But, like, just watching the process of them making the food and then him getting to eat it was fun. It's a good show.
It's a good show.
Good show. And then number 1, I don't think you have this over here, but have you ever heard of a show called Come Dine With Me?
I haven't heard of that one, no.
Best cooking show ever made.
Fucking alright, I'll check it out.
Here's what it is. You get 5 people. Over the course of a week, each one of them has to host dinner in their house. And the other 4 even, like, come round for dinner.
Got you.
So they make a meal. It has to be a 3-course meal. They have to also provide entertainment.
Okay.
And that can be anything. They'll usually make it something to do with, like, what they do or where they're from. So, like, you know, if someone's a comedian, they'll do a stand-up set for them. Or,
Gotcha.
like, sometimes you just get someone real rich who's just, like, hired a load of, I don't know, fireworks or whatever and put on a whole show.
Come Dine With Me?
Come Dine With Me.
I'm gonna check it out.
But the best part is you see, each episode you see that person making their meal and, like, shopping for it, and some people cheat. Some people like, they get frozen food. And then that's great, because you're like, oh, you're going to get found out, but sometimes they don't. And then at the end of each episode, like, the people come to their house, they do a little snoop around the house, look around for things, and then eat the food and do the entertainment, and at the end of the night rate them. But because they're all against each other, they have to rate them out of 10, so you'll get people who are
not
dicks
honest
about
ratings.
It. Some of them are very honest. Some of them you're like, I like you, you're a good person. Some of them they'll be like, oh, this was the best meal I ever had. The entertainment was, they let me slap my childhood bully in the face. It was perfect. So I'm going to give them a 5 out of 10. It's such a good show. Okay. And then you also, at the end of the week, they reveal who the winner is.
All right.
But whoever was hosting that night has to read out the winner. And it, like, if you look up anything, look up on YouTube, like, I can't remember what he's called, but there's a guy who proper loses it at the end. And just, like, goes on this rant telling this woman, you've won. I can't believe it. You've managed to do it. You've ruined my evening. I hope you're proud of yourself because you have all the grace of a dump truck reversing with no wheels. What a sad little life. And then walks off.
All right.
It's an incredible show.
Nah, that's awesome.
And it's the best show to watch when you're hungover, because on, like, Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which, they play all 5 of them back to back, so you lie there, so hungover, and you just go, yeah, this is the good stuff.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
Dude, you'll love
I've
it.
seen so many that it's like, I'm running out of options and good ones. Like, Netflix has just a slew of real shit ones.
Oh my god, right?
So many bad ones. Alright, so I'm starting with The Bear.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm super excited for season 2. I like how the first season ended. I think it's beautifully written. Like I said it earlier, I think it's extremely accurate to, you know, kitchen life. And
That's just great.
yeah, I think that might be the only scripted show on my list. Number 2 is Hell's Kitchen. I'm a sucker for that. Just got back into it with my lady.
Nice.
And she really liked it. We actually went back and watched, like, she's like, oh, because we watched the last maybe 3 seasons, 4 seasons, because I had seen every season prior to that. And the first season's horrible. Like, he was so much more mean, dude.
Oh, he's
like,
mean,
the
dude.
things he
Apparently
got,
in real life he's lovely.
he does, and this is what I'm trying to say, you know, to my lady, is just that, you know, this is a show that's been around for 23 or whatever seasons it is, because, like, they get ratings, and like this is a character he's portraying on TV. It's a TV show. It's for entertainment at the end of the day, right? And I don't condone. Like now he's so much nicer, bro. You go back and watch season 1. He's calling people like fat cows and shit, like saying stuff about
that one with
like,
the idiot sandwich.
Oh my god! It's like, dude, some dude on one season like steps to him, was like, "Let's go in the fucking parking lot." He was like from Brooklyn or some shit, dude. I swear to God. It gets intense sometimes, but the newer seasons are more about the cooking, I feel.
I think, actually, sorry, just to bring this up quickly, that is my issue with him, is how he, I think, more than any other celebrity chef, has really created that image that chefs have to be assholes.
Yeah, it's not good for the industry.
It's real bad for it.
Yeah.
Because I've worked with so many chefs where I'm just like, hey, you are being a prick because you think it's what a chef is meant to do, not because it's actually good for your work.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
Oh, yeah. You get that. And it's hard. I lost a lot of, like, passion. I like, was at one restaurant for, like, 5 years or so. And, like, just drained my passion. And I went to do a bunch of catering. I was doing, like, TV show sets at one point. I was doing, like, airline food at one point. Just trying to get out of, like, the restaurant atmosphere just because I had, like, that kind of experience with it. But where I'm at now is it's so great, dude. Like, my GM was there yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, that's
seemed like a lovely guy from the back of his head.
Amazing dude, you know? Yeah. And, like, we're actually going to, like, a wrestling event in June. Nice. Like, it's just a really cool, like, calm, like, the most important thing where I'm at right now is just, like, the atmosphere and people wanting to come into work, you know?
And actually, that's one of the things I think is great about the Bear, is how it's kind of deconstructing that whole, like, kitchens have to be horrible places to work.
Yeah.
And it's going, actually, it works a little better when everyone kind of respects each other a bit more.
Right. It does. 100%. So I'm a Master Chef as well. That's my number 3.
Nice.
Fuck That's Delicious. It's my number 4. So that one is, Action Bronson?
Nope.
He's a rapper, New York rapper. And he also, like, went to school to be a chef. Like, that was, like, his, thing in the beginning.
Nice.
And then he just became, like, famous rapper. And so this show is just really him going around eating, like, a bunch of comfort food. And, like, it was rough on him because, like, he's a bigger dude, like, initially. And then because of this show, he's going around eating, like, not the healthiest food. Like, if anything, it's, like, the exact opposite. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so, like, the first 3 seasons, he's just getting bigger and bigger. And now he's a fucking tank. Like, he's been working out. And, like, he just, I don't know. But
put on mass. And then he's refined that.
It's just a fun show of him talking about, like, eating food and talking about why it's good and seeing how they make it there. And And then I'm going Pressure Cooker. This is the only cooking show well, that's not a lie. Or that is a lie. What was Is It Cake? That one was okay on Netflix too, but that doesn't make the top 5.
I do watch that one when I'm high sometimes.
That was insane. Like, some of them are so
good. The one thing that really annoys me about it is that the host keeps refusing to admit that people's cakes are good. Like, because he's a comedian, I feel like he feels like he has to make jokes about their cakes and, like, make fun of their cakes, but I'm like, I don't want to see you make fun of their cakes. Their cakes are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Be nice
to them.
Jokes
are corny, bro.
Jokes are corny. Screw you. They make good cakes. I like them and they're my friends.
But Pressure Cooker is, like, kind of like a reality kind of, competition show. I think, it's the best one on Netflix.
Nice.
You want to do superheroes?
Let's do superheroes.
All right. I'll go first. I do superheroes every episode. I'm sure people are tired, but Batman. It's my number 1.
You're going 1 to 5. Cool.
I do 1 to 5.
Yeah.
Batman's my number 1. Then Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
Then I'm going
I loved the Ninja Turtles as a kid.
Oh my god! So I had, like, all the toys, bro.
Nice.
I had Ninja Turtle helicopter. Like,
nice.
I had so much cool shit, man. Like, different versions. Like, who's your favorite?
Leonardo.
Oh.
He has the same name as me. I mean, my name's not Leonardo, but,
Oh, shoot, it's not?
It's just Leo.
It's just Leo.
Oh, mate, you want to know how I got my name?
Okay.
So, basically, my dad's a journalist, and when I was born, we were about to move to Russia, because he was going to go be the Moscow correspondent. And this was, like, just as the Soviet Union was falling. But so we were moving to Russia, and my parents were thinking of a name for me, and they were like, why don't we, cap this off by giving him a like Russian name? And they were like, what famous Russians can we think of? They were like, Leo Tolstoy, who wrote War and Peace. They were like, one of the greatest authors ever. Perfect, let's name him that, and then it's also nice in Russian. Mm-hmm. And so then we get to Russia, and they're sort of showing me off to, I don't know, the babushkas. And being like, so this is our son Leo, like Leo Tolstoy. And everyone just went like, who? And it turns out Leo is just the anglicization of his name, like he is called Liev in Russia. So they got there and everyone was just like, you big dumb British fucks.
That's funny, dude.
So I am just named after a clerical error.
Okay, alright.
But yeah, no, Leo was...
That's funny.
He was my favourite turtle, but also, my best friend growing up was called Raphael. So we never had to fight over who played who when we were playing...
Okay. Raphael's mine. There you go.
Raphael's everyone's, like, he's the bad boy. But Leo had swords, and swords are cool.
Man. They need to do a good reboot. I know Seth Rogen kind of is doing something with the Ninja Turtle name now. He has a movie coming out, but it's animated, man. Like, I was a big fan of, like, the original 90s ones.
Oh, you want to see them in the big foam suits again?
I don't know if necessarily that, but I wasn't... So they rebooted it. Mm-hmm. The first reboot, like, that one was okay, and then the second one, I think it was called, like, Out of the Shadows. It just, like, ruined it for me.
Wait, when you say the reboot, are you saying, like, the Michael Bay ones?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the first Michael Bay one. And then the second one, they just, I don't know. I'm a Casey Jones fan, and they made Casey Jones a cop. And like, Casey Jones would never be a cop.
Why would you make Casey Jones a cop?
It's wild, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah, don't watch it.
Cops can't wear hockey masks.
Rules. So, Ninja Turtles number 2, the whole group.
Nice.
Then I'm going Red Hood, Arsenal, and then Spider-Man.
So solid
my
list.
top 5.
Red Hood's Jason Todd, right?
Yes, he is Jason Todd. I'm so happy you got that right. Awesome, dude.
Alright, I'm gonna go 5 to 1.
Okay.
Because
can do whatever you
feel
want.
Like it. So my number 5, I wasn't sure if he actually counts as a superhero. I went with Morpheus from the Sandman graphic novels.
For sure.
I mean, he's more of a
you can say
god than a superhero, but I'm still going with it.
I've heard people say freaking musicians or
nice.
family members. It's okay.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna go with him. I love the Sandman books, and I've been listening to the audiobooks of it recently. They're really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you like Sandman, but
I haven't seen the series. I know
it's really good.
Yeah, okay.
As a way of getting into it, I really like it. But also, if you like audiobooks, Audible do one where they have a lot of really big names playing various characters. James McAvoy plays Morpheus.
Okay.
And it's really good. So Morpheus. Right. Then number 4, I went Deadpool.
Nice.
Because I like him. He's fun.
He is.
I liked him a little more before. I feel like he's being a bit overused now. We've seen a lot of Deadpool content over the past few years, and I liked it when Deadpool just popped up in things every now and again. And you're like, fun, and then he's gone. I think he's used sparingly.
I think he's going to be used even more.
Yes.
In the future.
Oh, I mean now Marvel aren't going to not use him now that they've got the rights to him.
Right.
Anyway, then Spider-Man number 3.
Yeah.
Because he's great.
Got to be on there.
Number 2, I went with Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond.
Okay. Oh, of course I know.
Yeah.
Of course I know.
For the benefit of the audience.
I have all the Batman Beyond, bro. That shit is one of my...
so good.
It's such a great series.
And the best superhero animated series outside of Batman the Animated Series.
Okay. I would agree.
In my opinion.
I would agree.
And, fucking... The film, Return of the Joker.
So good.
One of the best animated superhero films ever made.
It really is, dude. It really is. And it's an older one, so people kind of forget about it, but it's so good.
But it's so good. And, there's a line in it that it's when the Joker gets shot halfway through the film by young Tim Drake. And there's that line where Mark Hamill delivers it so perfectly, he just goes, "That's not funny. That's not funny at all." Perfect death line. I love it so much.
He's Joker, man.
He's Joker.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever see him or hear him again, rather.
Yeah, maybe. He still does voice work a lot, but I think he's a bit done with doing
Conroy
Joker.
was like his dude.
And I even forgot Conroy died. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we won't see him
he went
again.
over something, or he had like a quote that was like circulating for a bit, and it was just about him. Like, I don't know. That was his Batman to, he's the Joker to his Batman, and without him, he's not Joker or something along those lines.
I respect that a lot.
So
because it's fair.
They were partners. It's true, man.
Number one's Batman.
Word.
Although I will say, my one thing about Batman,
okay,
I only like Batman when he's within his own storylines. I don't.
That's when he's best, I feel like.
Right? Because I don't like when Batman is put too often with like the rest of the Justice League and stuff, and I feel like he gets. And this is just a personal thing, but I don't like the whole like he's able to take down Superman because he's like got all these plans and stuff. I'm like, can't he just be really, really fucking good at being a normal dude who takes down other normal dudes and like a few superpowered villains, but like he doesn't have to be this like world conquering thing.
So who's your favorite Batman?
Conroy.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's the best.
All right.
And then
dig it.
Adam West.
All right. Yeah, Adam West.
But no, for a serious Batman, Conroy, and then I really like Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He was great at it.
Yeah. I agree. He's probably my favorite.
And then maybe Keaton.
Keaton, he's coming back. That should be good.
Yeah.
Was that 5?
That was 5. And Batman's number 1.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's do improvisers.
Okay.
Ben Schwartz.
He's a great
He's my number
improviser.
1.
I almost had him on mine.
Oh my god. Yeah, he's that whole Middleditch and Schwartz thing.
Yeah.
It was good. I wish there was more episodes. There's only like 3 of them. Number 1, Ryan Stiles.
Right, from Whose Line? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great.
Wayne Brady. I think
Very
arguably
funny, man.
like one of the best at just like singing. You were talking about how singing makes people uncomfortable. Like that's like his like I don't know, his thing. Like, I think he's the best at that. Will Ferrell, the only actor. Well, I guess Ben Schwartz is an actor, but I like.
Yeah, but Will Ferrell. What I love about him as an actor is you can see so much of his improv stuff, especially in his like Judd Apatow movies.
Yeah.
So like Anchorman, especially, like you get so many of those moments where like they'll just be doing stuff, and you'll be like, that's a real improv moment because he's just established where he is in the scene. So like he'll just be they're sitting there, and he suddenly goes, "We are having lunch," and you're like, that's hilarious, but it's also. I could totally see that in an improv scene on stage because it's like no one said what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're having lunch. He's great.
And then Colin Mockery, another
very talented.
Yeah.
So mine, I started making a list of like my genuine favorite improvisers. They were all people from the London improv scene who like. If you're outside of the UK
shout
comedy
out,
world,
bro.
you're not gonna. I'll shout. You know what? I'm gonna do just a quick list of like the famous people I like.
All right.
I actually I only came up with 4 because for the 5th one I was like I'm just gonna put my friends. But I'll do the quick 4 of like Bill Hader, amazing.
Yeah.
Also an incredible actor. Jordan Peele could have easily been Keegan-Michael Key.
Dude, do you know what I just watched?
What?
Keanu. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Oh my god, it's so funny, dude. It's really like I slept on it for a while.
Is it about a dog?
It's about a cat.
Okay.
And I had watched. Sorry to interrupt you.
No.
I had watched Call of the Wild or The Call of the Wild, whatever it is with Harrison Ford, and I was like, why don't they make cat movies? And so we like Googled cat movies, and Keanu seemed like it was the best one, and we watched it, dude. And like, those guys are just. It's essentially them just like trying to get a cat back.
Nice.
And they're pretending. They just, I don't know, they stumble into some, like, gangster shit, and they are pretending to be gangsters. And these people believe, like, they're like, these tough, like, murderer-type dudes, and he's like, hey, man, go out with my squad, show them how you do things, and then I'll give you the cat. Nice. Right? And so that's the deal. So they go out with this squad, and they're like every kind of, like, first meeting, or when you start a new job, or any class that you've ever taken, and he's like, all right, He's like, and I don't. He's like the bald one. What's the bald one's name?
Keegan-Michael Key.
Okay, there you go. He's like, all right, we're gonna go around, and I want you to say your name and 2 things about yourself. And he's like trying to sound all like gangster, dude. I mean, I haven't laughed so hard in a movie in so long. Definitely
I'm gonna watch that movie. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So either of them could have been on the list. I put Jordan Peele.
All right.
Actually, wait, no, I only had 4 people, so I can put both of them. Both of them.
They're great together.
They are. They're just such a good double team. And like, I don't feel it's groundbreaking to say Key and Peele was like what a show, and just the amount they managed to do with their sketches. Like the amount of times you'd be like, this is genuinely like a really good horror short film, but it's also funny as fuck.
Yeah.
And then the next one will be like, they do a really good, like, I don't know, rom-com. They're very talented. Is my main point.
Definitely.
Number 2, Jason Mantzoukas.
Who is that?
You will have seen him in everything. He's Greek. He talks very loud.
He's Derek from Good something.
The Good Place.
The Good Place.
Yes.
He's fucking hilarious in that
He's so good in everything he's in. He generally plays like very similar characters, but my god, does he do it
Have you seen The Good Place?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, bro! The Derek character kills me.
Right?
He has like something I say like even to like this day. I haven't watched it in a while, but 2 Shakes of a Lamb's Derek. Like he always put his name into like shit.
Man, I haven't watched that show in ages. I should go back and
funny.
watch it again.
Yeah. So much good stuff.
He is a very good comedy actor. He is also an incredible improviser.
Okay. I can believe it.
Like, a few of my friends have played with him on stage in London, and like, I didn't get to see the show because I was in Canada, but they were like, yeah, he was great. He was very generous, which he didn't have to be because he was, he's a Hollywood star and they not. But great improviser. And then number 1's Amy Poehler.
Okay.
She's just very talented. But I could have also made a list where it's just people I know who I think are the most talented improvisers I know. And I'm going to do it really quickly. There's a guy called Paul Foxcroft and a guy called Richard Soames. Two of them taught me everything I know about improv. They're so talented and they should be in so many more things, but they're not.
Yeah.
Then there's a guy called Steen Raskopoulos. Amazing improviser, very talented guy. Guy called Andrew Hunter Murray. Doesn't really do it anymore. Very funny. Bryony Redman. Rachel Paris. These are just names I'm throwing at you. There's no way you would know who they are.
Right, but they're all your
big
homies
in London.
Influence you and fuck yeah, man.
They either they actually taught me or I've just seen them perform a lot, and like they really influenced a huge amount of like what I want to be as a comedian.
Yeah. There's lots of like not necessarily the best actors you might know or like there's so many just gems that are like the more I don't know am into comedy, the more I just see people that it's like, oh, this guy made it and this person didn't, or this lady made it and this woman didn't, and it's just like it's so mind blowing, like, and it's like it's not always about talent. Unfortunately,
I would say it's almost never purely about talent.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, plenty of very talented people make it.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
But so much of it is luck. So much of it is just like, I don't know, you got one part because you looked right for that part. And then you were able to make something out of it. A lot of it's hard work, obviously, but most of it's luck. Because, like, the amount of people I've worked with over the years who I think are genuinely, like, some of the most talented people in the world in their various professions. And improv is a huge one of them. And some of the people I listed actually are doing very well for themselves right now. And like, good job.
I wasn't trying to say they're not successful.
No. I know. What I was specifically saying, they are successful within the UK comedy scene. So I don't know. We're in Canada.
But everyone has different goals. Yeah, it doesn't matter though.
Yeah.
Like everyone's goal is different. That's the thing I think funny about I think it's funny about I don't know, just comedians that talk shit about other comedians, or just, you know, any.
I'll
I
never
guess
get
any
why
field.
some comedians do that.
Oh man,
Like, just don't be dicks.
yeah,
We're all in this together.
exactly. Like what you want, the person beside you doesn't want, and the person beside them doesn't want. Like we can all want different things, and you know, I don't. It's just I like surrounding myself with good people. That's why I've kind of like grown to love you.
Ah, thanks,
And
bud.
yeah, man.
No, and like it's something I, especially working in a place like SoCap, so where I do the tech, like I really get to see which comedians are like good people or not.
Mm-hmm.
And like, the middle is just very much from my perspective, but like, you get producers who will come in and like will actually talk to me, and like you did it first time we did a show together. I was teching a show for you. You like came in and like proper introduced yourself. We had a nice chat. We talked through what was going to happen in the show. And like you also like from stage were very generous. Like at the end of the show, you were like, shout out to Leo. He's doing the lights at the back. Love you, man. And I really appreciated that. And I always appreciate that when a producer or a comedian or whatever like treats me like a person when I'm doing the lights.
Yeah.
You get so many people who come in and just ignore me or like only want to talk to me if something's going wrong. And I'm like, I'm a person, man.
Right.
Like, just say hi at the beginning and say thank you at the end. That's all I need.
And it's really the bare minimum.
It's the bare minimum of, like, interacting with people.
Yeah.
But so many people think they're hot shit and don't think they need to do that. And I'm like, I think it's such a small world and industry that like shit like that gets around, and if people don't want to work with you, people aren't going to work with you.
Yeah.
And you can also really tell, I think, when people are like, and it happens a lot with performers, but you'll get that they are only nice to people that they think are above them and can help
and that can
them.
benefit. Yeah.
And that's when I'm like, that's just you're being a prig. And it gets around, and people realise that.
Yeah.
And obviously some people still get away with it and become very successful, and I hate them for it.
I try not to let it affect. I'm like a very big, like, stay in my lane kind of guy. I try. And, like, obviously sometimes I compare myself to others. Like, obviously it happens, but, like, I find the older I get and the more I'm satisfied with what I'm putting out, the less it affects me, and the less I'm like, oh, this person's got that spot and he's been doing it less time than you know, like when it's not something that occupies a lot of time in my mind anymore.
Yeah. And that's very healthy. Well done.
I'm healthy, guys.
We figured it out.
All right. Plays, bro.
Plays.
Do you want to do plays?
Let's
you
do
start
plays.
first.
All right. Wait. No, I forgot to finish writing the plays I liked.
Oh, you
I only
did?
have 3.
Okay. Just
No,
do the
it's all right.
3 then.
I'll think of the other 2 off the top of my head.
Okay.
I'll start off number 1. I've already talked about it. It's the Pitchfork Disney. It was that first proper play I did.
Gotcha.
It's shaped so much of who I am. Just having done that I couldn't put it not as number 1. It's also a very good play. Mm-hmm. Like real sort of experimental and weird, but great. Yeah. Number 2, I had to put some Shakespeare on here. I've gone with Hamlet.
Okay.
It's like, I know it's the obvious choice, but it's because it's really good. And I love Shakespeare. Because I'm a little pretentious boy. And I'm okay with that.
You a Chaucer fan?
Chaucer.
Yeah.
I studied Chaucer at school. I've never really gone back to it. I like a lot of things that are based on Chaucer. I find Chaucer very hard to read because it's, Middle English.
Yeah, it's
but
strange.
I like works that use it as a jumping off point or use the framing of it. Because, in the end, it's just a lot of people sitting around telling stories, and that's great. Do you like Chaucer?
My lady is a big fan of his. Our white cat is named Geoffrey Chaucer.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so like I've grown to appreciate him.
Nice.
And what he brought to the table and how he kind of like, I don't want to say he was a pioneer, but kind of maybe.
He was a pioneer.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'd say that. He's very formative within all of English literature. You know? I think pioneer is exactly the right word for it.
Alright.
Next one, I went with, it's a play called The Bacchae. It is an ancient Greek play. My degree was in ancient history. I studied a lot of the ancient Greek plays when I was doing that. I've also seen it, and many others performed lots of times. Ancient Greek theatre is really good. It needs to be like sort of reframed a little bit. But this play in particular, it's got so much great stuff going on in it. It's all about like the god Dionysus comes to this town, Thebes, where the king has banned his worship, and he basically like just appears to the king as this normal dude who is a worshipper of Dionysus. The king is like, I'm gonna put you in prison as a punishment and show the god that he doesn't rule around here. Mm-hmm. And then he slowly, over the course of the play, drives him insane and ends up with the king being torn apart by his mother and sisters because they think he's a lion. And they come in showing off his head, being like, look at this lion's head I found. Let's go show it to my son. And it's brutal, and it's great, and it's just, oof, it's one of my... It starts off so, like, lighthearted, it's, like, really quite funny at the beginning, and then it just devolves into, like, just horror. It's awesome. Dionysus is also, like, it's one of my dream roles.
Okay.
Then... I should put it in a musical, because I love musicals. I'll go with Into the Woods. It's a perfect musical. It's like, I don't know, do you like musicals?
I'm not against them. I've seen a few.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, like, I'm not as educated in this world, so, like, I have a couple on my list. Was that 5?
That was 4, but I'm happy to leave it there.
Okay, if you don't want to...
I don't know, like, 4th one would be... Come back to me.
Okay. So, yeah, mine are, like... I enjoy going to see live theater, and but I just don't really know when it's like if they're singing, if that's like a play or a musical, or like do they, sure. I don't really know where the lines are. So forgive me if these aren't exactly what are traditionally considered plays.
I don't care. Like, there are plenty of people who would be like weirdly pretentious about it. Like, whatever. If it's a play and you saw it on stage and you enjoyed it,
that's awesome. They all have in common is I've seen them like live on stage.
Yeah, okay? I think the worst thing that someone can do if they love theater is be like weirdly gatekeepy about like you call that a play.
Okay, yeah.
Because like theater already struggles enough to get audiences. You don't also need to start alienating people who are just enjoying themselves.
Right.
Like you watch whatever the fuck you want, man.
Thanks, man. So, first one, it's visually the craziest one I've ever seen. And it was like live, and they had it was Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, first of all.
Nice.
I saw it when it first came to Toronto last year. I got my lady tickets for Christmas.
Nice.
When they first announced
to
it.
The Advantage Theatre, right?
Yeah.
I used to be the front of house manager there.
Okay. That's a nice place.
Actually, sorry, technically I was assistant front of house manager.
But you did the work.
Just in case my boss is listening.
Yeah!
Liar!
But yeah, just amazing. The stuff they did and the way they made it look.
Nice.
Just amazing. Great story as well. I know they're doing a movie now, so...
I haven't heard that.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
I haven't seen it. I've heard I've heard visually it's very, very impressive.
Yeah, it really is. Then I'm going Evil Dead. I think it's
called... There's a stage show of Evil Dead?
Oh, yeah. It's like a musical kind of thing, and there's like a lot of blood, and they have like a thing called like the splatter zone where you like sit in like the first
Dude,
two
that
rows.
Sounds awesome.
Oh, dude, it was amazing. I've only, I went once like a while ago, and I wasn't in the splatter zone, but when I went, there's some dude like in an all-white suit just sitting there, and like you go, and they give you like plastic kind of whatever to go over you.
A raincoat.
Yeah, essentially. And this guy didn't wear it. He just had the white suit, and he was like getting splashed all night.
Power move, I love it.
It was amazing, yeah.
Especially because I can just imagine him getting the subway home at the end of the night, be like,
oh yeah, he's getting some looks. But yeah, just a really fun time.
Nice.
Then I'm going Anne of Green Gables. I saw that with my lady.
Okay.
And we saw it at, I don't think it's there. It was Ossington Theater, Lower Ossington Theater or something like that.
Yeah. Sure.
It was like a kind of like a small little production, and that was really cool.
Nice.
Then I'm going Les Mis.
Great musical.
I was like probably the first one I ever saw, I think. And it was just a thing done at Rose Theater in Brampton.
You know, I've never seen it properly on stage. I've only seen
Oh, no, it wasn't
the
Rose
film.
Theater. No. Sorry, forgive me.
That's okay.
It was Heritage Theater. This is before Rose Theater was around. There was
Sure.
another one called Heritage Theater, but it was in Brampton.
Nice.
You never saw it, though?
I never saw it live on stage. I saw the 2012 film, which was a bit shit.
I didn't see it.
It's not very good.
Okay.
Like, they did a lot of weird... The director was doing a weird thing where he was getting them all to sing live on camera, which is a lovely idea, but it also meant that, like, you couldn't do multiple takes.
Okay.
Like, because, you know, there's only so long that someone can, like, really belt out a song before their voice just gets real tired.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, also, a lot of them were movie actors rather than trained Broadway actors. It was a bit of a mess as a film. I've heard the stage show is incredible. I do want to see it. My great aunt was in the original production in London.
That's cool.
Which is it's a family claim to fame. But I've heard really good things. I do want to go see it. It's coming to Toronto. I'm going to go see it when it's in Toronto.
Here we go. And Cats, bro. Cats. I love Cats, bro. I don't know what to say. I wouldn't say dude, I haven't seen like I don't want to sit here and act like I've seen like 20 and like this is like I've seen maybe like 6 or 7 in my life probably. I'm like totally down for going to more, and my lady likes a lot of that stuff, so we've been going to a bit. But yeah.
Cats, I know I said that you could say you enjoy whatever you want, but that's too fun.
Cats?
No. Cats is fun. It's dumb. It's dumb as shit, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's kind of like...
In fact, the director
sometimes you just need an escape, you know?
It was Tom Hooper directed both the Les Mis film and the Cats film.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see
He's
either.
got a weird
movies.
repertoire of...
Is the movie good? Did you see
the
movie?
movie? I haven't seen it yet. The movie is a train wreck from everything I've heard.
Like, so many bad things
immediately became a cult classic.
It looked horrible, though.
Yeah.
Like, just...
Because it looks horrifying.
Yeah.
And apparently there's a cut out there where they have the buttholes. When they had CGI buttholes on all the cats.
Genius.
So yeah, Cats is great. That's a great list.
Yeah, thank you, man. I was worried you were gonna, but...
I like I say, I just think everyone should be able to enjoy whatever shows they want to watch on stage. I'm not here to give people a hard time because I think I know theatre better just because I've...
Was there anyone that you thought that you would love and you didn't love?
Plays.
Yeah. Like anyone that you were excited to see that just didn't...
I mean, so many in my lifetime. Yeah, so, have you ever heard of the Edinburgh Fringe Festival?
Yeah.
Biggest arts festival in the world, incredible place. That I've been to so many times, like either performing or just watching things, and like that is the perfect place for seeing shows that you think sound great and are awful. And then every now and again you see something that is perfect. But yeah, the amount of shows I've seen there that I've been like, this sounds like a really fun idea. Oh my god, that was executed so badly. In terms of like big stage productions, I saw this show in London once where it had a pretty good cast, like a load of middle big name UK celebrities, good actors, and it was all about like education in the UK. And it did it so badly. It was like, it came out of it, it sort of ended up saying like, with this one character basically stood on stage giving a monologue going, here's actually how we're supposed to fix education in the UK. Here's what we need to do, but none of you are going to do that because you're too scared to actually change things. But like everything they had said to make that it should be the changes, I was like, it's not as good an idea as the writer clearly thinks it is. Like the writer was clearly very fucking proud of this idea that they'd come up with, but I was like, I don't work in education policy, but I think there's some major issues with your plan.
Yeah.
It might need more workshopping than just standing there and going, "You're all idiots because I've solved it. Screw you." That's
funny.
That was pretty trash.
All right.
I thought of another musical I'm going to throw in there.
Do it.
Groundhog Day the musical.
Oh shoot! There's a musical Groundhog Day.
It came out in London and it didn't do very well, so it dropped. It was do you know Tim Minchin?
I don't know. Maybe
Australian comedian. He wrote Matilda the musical.
Okay.
He's a musician, like a musical comedian. He's very good. Look him up. But he wrote this Groundhog Day the musical. I saw it when it was in previews in London. It was really good, but I guess audiences just didn't really go for it, so it got scrapped. And it's all on Spotify. I listen to it I'd say once every couple of months, and it makes me really happy. It's a really good musical.
All right.
Because Groundhog Day is great.
Yeah. Let's end with J.K. Simmons movies.
J.K. Simmons movies. J.K. Simmons. Just before we start this, he is.
There's a lot of good stuff.
He's got so. I was like, I'll take a quick skim through his IMDb just to make sure I'm not forgetting anything.
Right.
He's in so many things.
I did the same thing. Yeah.
God, I love him. I think one of the best character actors ever. And obviously now he's getting more work as a leading actor, and that's great. I'm very happy for him, but I also loved when he used to just pop up in things, and he was one of those people you just go, that guy.
Yeah.
This film is going to be amazing.
Steve Buscemi kind of.
Exactly.
And it's perfect for who they are. Yeah. But it's not bad as a leading guy.
No, he's amazing as a leading guy. I'm very happy he's getting more work. I did love that time period where you'd see him and just go, this film is going to be incredible because he's popped up in a small role.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go first or shall I?
You can go first, man.
All right. I'm going to go number 5. Thank You for Smoking.
Oh, that's on my list too.
Right. Great film.
Nice.
Number 4, Palm Springs.
I haven't seen that one.
Ooh, it's really good. Andy Samberg, and it's a Groundhog Day kind of situation. There's Andy Samberg and Kristen Milotti are stuck in a time loop.
I like both of them. I haven't seen this movie.
They're both amazing.
Oh my god, okay.
It's a great film. J.K. Simmons is there as a kind of antagonist figure, but he's also... He does that classic J.K. Simmons thing of he seems like he's a really one-note character, and then he suddenly brings so much depth to the partway through the film. It's amazing. Watch it. You'll love it.
I will check that out.
Number 3. It was going to have to be a Spider-Man film. I ended up going with just Spider-Man. The first Tobey Maguire one.
Okay.
It was going to be that or Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Because his J. Jonah Jameson, man.
Yeah.
He's perfect.
He is.
Number 2, Burn After Reading.
Dude, did you read my list?
I did not read it.
Okay.
And, well, in that case, number 1, Cats and Dogs 2, Revenge of Kitty Galore. No. Number 1 was Whiplash. Whiplash.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
What, dude?
Yeah, I know.
If you love J.K. Simmons, go and watch Whiplash.
I know.
It's perfect. He's perfect in it. Oh, it's so
funny.
good.
I was scrolling, and I did Wikipedia, and when I did Wikipedia, it has the space, and then it'll generally have accolades and awards a film has won. And this space was just so big, and I was like, "What the fuck is this movie?" Whiplash, so much stuff.
It was that same year as Birdman.
That's a great
and movie. There was another big one that I can't remember, but that was a great year for the Oscars because those two, both of them feature so much drumming, and I love drumming. It's great. It's great. Let's hear your list.
All right, so number 1, I kind of cheated. Spider-Man. I just put Spider-Man because it's generally just his, Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
And he did it back then, and he came back, and now he's doing it now. And
I love how they've evolved, what he is as a media personality.
Yeah.
Now they've made him a sort of Alex Jones stand-in, and it works really well.
Yeah.
But I just love him as old newspaper editor.
Would never be able to, Yeah, I definitely, when I think of my Spider-Man, I always think of, Tobey Maguire. Those ones. And also, it's kind of kind of, I guess, what you were saying about Batman. I kind of prefer when Spider-Man's just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right?
I like that more. Yeah. You know?
I love... And it's a big part of it is just sort of how the MCU has changed everything. Like, now everything has to be a crossover. And I get it. Like, that's just the way the industry has gone. Mm-hmm. But I really like self-contained stories.
Yeah.
And especially with characters like Spider-Man and Batman, who, like, are so...
Their worlds are so big already.
Right? Yeah. And they have such a good villains gallery, both of them. Like, easily the best ones out of their respective universes. Mm-hmm. So I don't need to see Iron Man popping up in it.
Right. Yeah.
I just want to see Spider-Man doing his thing.
Yeah.
And Tobey Maguire's great.
So yeah, Spider-Man #1.
Yeah.
Then I'm going I Love You Man.
Oh, he's in that. That's a great film, and he is great.
And that's like, I mean, one of the funniest movies I think I've ever seen.
Nice.
And then I'm going Extract. Have you seen that?
I haven't.
That's a Mike Judge movie, and he plays like the supervisor at this warehouse. It's a really funny movie. The whole movie is like this guy, he gets in an accident at work and loses like one of his nuts, and so he basically is like, you know,
I'm such a child. I literally just said, lost his nuts.
Well, maybe just one. I don't know if it was both, but he lost one for sure.
Sure.
And then like he's going through some legal battle with like the company, and that's kind of like the gist of the movie. There's a lot of like sneaky and like other shit going on in it too. Mm-hmm. But it has like Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, oh my god. She was from Saturday Night Live. I can't remember her name right now. Anyways.
Tina Fey.
No.
I'm not.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, Extract. Mike Judge is like a great writer. I think he's like, well, one of the best in my opinion. Nice. And then Burn After Reading.
It's just
such a great movie.
A, it's such a great movie, but B, his part in it, like, is the main thing I think of when I think of that film, because he was so brilliant in it. Like that line where they're like, "Should we tell the FBI?" He's like, "Oh God, no, oh, those fuckheads get their hands on it." God,
it's so great. Yeah. And then what am I ending with? Thank You for Smoking. That's what I'm ending with. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
And when I was doing this list, I feel like my lady hasn't seen Thank You for Smoking, man.
Oh, dude, that's date night right there, baby.
Yeah. Might have to watch it tonight.
I think you should. It was a great film. Aaron, what's his face? Eckhart.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
He should have got more work than he did.
It was like Two-Face, that movie.
And then I can't remember anything else he was in.
Yeah.
He was Two-Face, yeah.
He was Two-Face. What movie was it, though?
Dark Knight.
Oh, was it Dark Knight? Oh, yeah. He was in Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, actually, right?
No,
wasn't he?
Because he died at the end of Dark Knight.
Did he? Fuck, then I'm thinking of, it's Dark Knight then. Mm-hmm. And it's Bane in Dark Knight Rises. I should know this. I'm just trying to...
Like, his face is in Dark Knight Rises, because they use him on, like, posters being like, oh...
But he's not actually in it, okay.
But he's not in it, no.
Alright, dude. You want to pick
I'll take a card.
Pick one of these cards.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure.
Alright.
This one, I think it's a bit of an obvious question for us, but do you enjoy creating art? If so, what do you like about it?
Oh, shoot. I do. I enjoy giving people an escape. Mm-hmm. So I try not to, like, do, like, political stuff or, like, because I just want people to kind of forget about the bullshit while they're, you know, in that space. It helps me, I think I'm just kind of the person who needs like a creative outlet. And I tried music and I tried a lot of things, and like comedy, it's helped me through some shit, you know, and I think it's helped a lot of people through, like so many people that I've had on here, comedians, like 95% of them like fell into comedy through some sort of like tragedy or some shit going on in their life, and this is like was just you know, what they wanted to do. And for me, really, I'm trying to like think deeper, but honestly I think it's just about and I don't really like people a lot. It's weird. But like I do really like being a person that can provide an escape for people. That's what I like when I watch my entertainment. That's why I was saying we were talking about something like a movie or something earlier, or a show or whatever, and it's just like, well, like I don't always need it to be deep. I just, sometimes it's just nice to have a silly escape, and I think art's super important, man. Just whatever it is, I think people need to support more local artists.
Oh, big time.
And yeah, I feel like I answered the question.
I think you did.
What about you?
I mean, I think pretty much exactly the same thing. I love creating art. I don't think I'd be able to live my life without creating art of some form or another. Like, I love just making things. Like, I love obviously performing and doing that, but I make music from time to time just on my computer. Mostly just because I enjoy doing it. I love drawing. Like, I just like making things that will either entertain someone else or just entertain me. And like, I know exactly what you mean about comedy and performing and all that, like, being so important for what you said. Like, people get into it for tragic reasons. Like, I am certain that, without getting too deep into it, but like, I'm certain that, like, in some way performing has saved my life.
Yeah. And I'm not sure exactly what it is. Like, I was trying to put my finger on it, but like I don't really know exactly what it is.
I think it's being able to express yourself in a way that you just can't do in normal life. Like, you can't work through some of the stuff that you can on stage just by talking. Or you probably can, and it's called therapy. But
like, even
really
for
good
like
therapy.
painters, even people that just like go in a room and they have a stressful day, and like, I would come home after a stressful day and smoke some bowls, and I know some people that would just lock themselves in a room and fucking throw paint. I do
that. I'll go and draw for a couple of hours because
That's
I'll
what
be
I'm
like,
saying.
I am stressed the fuck out and I need to just channel this into something.
Yeah, so sometimes it's not like what exactly is, like, what are you looking for when you go in that room? What is it?
I guess just it's kind of peace, because I don't know about you, my brain gets real fucking loud sometimes. And a really good way for me to just make everything get quieter is to do something creative. I don't know what it is about that allows me to channel
weird.
that, but it's the same. Like, going on stage will do the same.
It's a real thing.
Yeah,
for sure. I'm not questioning it.
No.
I don't know really exactly what it. I'm too dumb to really kind of,
we all are. Like, definitely. I remember talking to a therapist ages ago, and
yeah.
she was just like, okay, it was today. No, when I first started going to therapy, like, therapist was sort of being like, "You're an actor, right?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Yeah, I could tell just from your whole thing. Do you feel happiest when you're on stage?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Right, cool." And just started like breaking me down in that way, and just being like, "I can tell it's because you feel comfortable not having to be yourself."
Okay.
It's stuff I've worked through, and now it's really nice. Like, I am at a point now where I don't have to do it in the same way, because I'm much more at peace with myself these days.
Yeah.
But definitely, I've gone through some periods in my life where I was very fucking depressed and like, really struggling, and performance really just it wasn't maybe the overall healthiest way of dealing with it, but it got me through it and it saved me.
Yeah.
So creating art, very important.
Definitely. Yeah, man. Freaking
whatever that art is. I also think like it can easily be something that people don't necessarily think of as art, but like cooking, I find very peaceful because I'm making something. And anything like that.
Yeah. No, it's culinary arts. I'd feel like, I mean, on some level, it's been taken away by, like, chain restaurants and things like that, but I think fundamentally it is an art form,
I completely agree.
But yeah, therapy, man, I know this is not really the topic, but like, therapy is something that I found very beneficial, and it's something that also I avoided for a very long time because
I
was
had
like,
to be pushed into it by a girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Who, like, she proper kicked my ass until I just went to therapy. And thank fuck she did, because I needed it.
Yeah, man.
Badly. But it's scary. It's really scary going there for the first time and being like, I'm going to have to just be open about things. And luckily I had a therapist who was really good and just, like, would not let me get away with my bullshit. Because she, like, I came into one session once and, like, we were just chatting and I thought we were having a nice time and she just stopped me and was like, why are you acting? Cut that shit out. Just be real. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, like, we got some real stuff out of me. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. It can really help, man. Even as much as I was like, that shit ain't gonna help me. That's just stupid. Like, it really, it literally changed my whole life. Like, it was like, when I think about it, it's literally like the turning point of me, like, stopping drugs, starting going to culinary school, and just, like, just becoming a less selfish person.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah.
To people that think, you know, how we thought back then. How old are you, man?
I'm 31.
There you go. So, like, man, if you're debating, you're on the fence, just try it out at least.
Try it out. Be aware, not every therapist is great.
No, but
like, when you find the right one, do it.
Right.
Just do it. You'll like it.
Let's do... okay, we'll go through this one first. How has parenting changed in recent generations? I know you're not a parent.
No, but I work with kids a fair amount. Like, I used to tutor a lot. So I it's an interesting one. I think my parents were a lot stricter with me than some parents are these days. We're speaking in massive generalizations. There are still going to be plenty of strict parents out there. But I feel, without trying to sound too much like a grumpy old man, I feel like kids get away with a bit more these days. But I also think it's much harder for parents these days, I think. Because you got kids going out on the internet and, like, they're getting so much
information at a young age.
Information and having things thrown at them they shouldn't be seeing at that age.
Yeah.
And it's real rough. I wouldn't know how to bring up a child right now, like, because I wouldn't want them to be on their phone all the time and like be using a phone from a very young age. But at the same time, if you don't let them do that, then other kids are gonna give them shit because they're not getting the same experience as them. So then suddenly they're the weird one and they start getting bullied for that.
Yeah, there's a lot to navigate. We're literally talking about this right now. Like when
I don't want to like freak you out.
No, it's okay, man. I've already thought about like, you know, it's like, when does she get a phone? Like, you know, and it's
tough.
It's like, well, what if she's younger and she needs a phone? What if she needs us? What if an emergency? And it's like, there's so many.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
I was given a phone when I was like 12. I was given an old like Nokia brick.
Yeah. Snake.
Yeah. Played it all the time. Snake and the like Space Invaders one. Yeah. It was I can't remember what it's called, but that one. And it literally, my parents put a bit of money on it, and it was just enough money on it that I could call them if I was in an emergency. And that was it. And other than that, I didn't have a proper phone until I was like 16, maybe. And I think that was probably pretty healthy for me.
Yeah.
But, you know, also if everyone else had a phone and that's their entire lives and they're living their lives so much more online, you're gonna be ostracized if you don't have it.
Yeah,
I think it's real tough.
Yeah, I would say, like, how has parenting changed? I don't know if this is necessarily how, but I think technology has changed parenting the most. Like, in like every aspect. Like I said, my ex, she had a daughter, and like before we split up, like she was like in middle school, right? So she wasn't that young. She had just got a phone. Like her grandpa got her a phone in grade 7, and it's weird to say, but like back in the day, like we did something bad. I don't know about you. Like I was raised in foster homes and stuff, but like. Even I live with my nana for periods, and like I do something bad, and I would get like grounded, you know, and I wouldn't be able to go see my friends. And now it's like all you have to do to like, you know, is just shut off the like internet, or something, you know?
Just
for
turn the
real,
Wi-Fi
like that
off,
was
yeah.
like a common punishment. Would be like, go to your room, and then she would go to her room, and she'd just be in there, and like her mom would go in and like see her on her phone and just come out and unplug the fucking thing. You know what I mean? And that was like, that was the worst thing you could do, man. Like that's the biggest punishment. That was worse than being grounded. Just like not having internet access for a day, bro. So I think technology. I don't know that it's kind of not answering the question, but
I think it's a fair answer. Like I think it's just. You're right. It's just changed so much because of technology that like nothing our parents would have.
And I do agree with kids getting away with more nowadays. You know, but also that it's like that. I feel like might go hand in hand with technology as well.
Absolutely.
It's the same with the cops.
It's because they're becoming older a lot earlier.
Yeah,
like they're seeing all this shit online that I like. Again, I don't want to be like, oh, they shouldn't see this, but they shouldn't be seeing some of the shit they see. For sure. And that means that they feel older earlier. They don't get as much of a chance to be like kids. Which is sad.
It is kind of sad, man.
And I'm sure technology brings many brilliant things to parenting as well. But I feel glad sometimes that I grew up.
I'm 100%. Yeah. I agree with you. All right, what's your other thing, Yo?
What different advantages do men and women have in the world?
Oh my god, this is the card you picked? This is crazy.
The first one was a nice question.
Okay, repeat the question.
What different advantages do men and women have in the world?
Okay, I'm not going to get too crazy deep. I'm going to talk about some shit that I've just been going through. And an advantage, like my lady, I feel like for a dude, like a dad, it kind of sucks not being able to, like, I feel like my lady has had a connection with our kid for like the last 9 months, and I've just been this outsider, you know, and I just touch the belly and I get a little freaked out when it kicks, but like I'm not like experiencing it fully. And I just, as a parent, I think I think we're lucky that women were the ones that were made to be able to create people, because I would say that if dudes were, we probably wouldn't have a lot of as men. Well, maybe that'd be good for the planet too. Who knows?
I think that would honestly maybe just be
who knows, because we're getting very populated. But I don't know, man. There's definitely advantages that, you know, come to mind with both.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean we're not equal. Everyone, even like me and you, have different strengths, and we're both guys. So like, you know, it's, I don't know. As far as parenting though, I think women are very lucky to be able to experience that stuff. I feel like
that's
I'm
a
missing
really
out.
Nice thing to have come out of that. I like that. It was a nice thought.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking more
nice too.
No, what I
no.
immediately went to was like, it's something that I've noticed more recently. Is I don't want to get into the whole like you know, I have certain privilege because I'm a man or whatever, but something I had never really thought about until a couple of years back when I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, we were going somewhere, and I was like, let's go this way. I know this nice route where we go through all the back streets of Toronto. It's nice and quiet. And they were like, it was a female friend. She was like, I don't want to walk through the back streets. It's nighttime. And I had never like properly thought about it. And then me and my girlfriend were talking about it semi early on in our relationship about the different ways that we go home. And I'm like, I always take quiet streets when I walk home, especially at night.
Yeah.
Because, and like, part of it is, what I'm saying is like, I can walk along and generally not be too afraid that someone is going to like attack me.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm in a quiet area. I actually feel a lot safer then.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, she will always walk down well-lit and busy streets, which is very sensible. But it's then we talked about it some more, and I realized I think it kind of cuts both ways, because the reason I like to walk down quieter streets at night is because I think I'm a lot more likely to end up in a fight or something like that if someone is drunkenly outside of a pub or whatever and they just decide to kick some shit off because they're like, look at this dickhead on the street, I'm gonna get him. And so I try to avoid people. And like, you know, I've been in plenty of situations like that. I don't like it. I can look after myself plenty well, but I will just try and avoid that situation.
For sure.
Whereas for her, it's the complete opposite. Like, she's not going to get attacked by someone, or, is less likely to get attacked by someone in a crowded area where it's a big group of people. It's much more likely someone where they think they're going to get away with it. And that, obviously, I prefer in that scenario being a man. I think it is more beneficial, not feeling like I'm going to be murdered all the time. But there is that kind of thing of, I do feel slightly less safe on a really busy street like that if it's nighttime and, people are really drunk, just because I'm more of a, target of someone being like, I'm going to fight him because he's big.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And it's sad, and it's definitely some,
Also varies massively from city to city. Different places I've lived, I felt much safer walking in or not, as where the case may be.
Okay.
Barcelona, very safe city I felt to walk around, because all the crime there is just pickpocketing.
Gotcha.
People love pickpocketing there, but they're not going to start a fight. Whereas, here in London, I don't worry about getting pickpocketed. I do worry about someone
Man, I worry about freaking taking the TTC now.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's some shit I like. It's like playing Russian roulette.
It is, but at the same time, I'm I've got this weird stubbornness in my head where I'm I'm not going to let these dickheads tell me how I
100%, dude.
The city.
That's why I love you, Leo, because we think the same. And it's okay, man. It's like I'm afraid of heights, but I went bungee jumping a few years ago. That was just legit. Dude, me on the bridge. Literally rail, shaking to get to the thing. I had this fucking Superman shirt. I mean, my biggest fear is probably heights. Heights and depth, but maybe they're related.
Open water like that?
What?
When you said depth,
death.
Oh, death. I thought you said depth.
No, but I mean, that shit is kind of scary,
That shit's scary, right?
When you can't see,
when you're just on the surface of the water and everything could be underneath you.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
And there's a lot underneath you.
My imagination's way too active for that.
But yeah, I'm just the kind of guy that's I don't like letting that stuff control me, fear.
Yeah.
I always will kind of face that kind of shit. I still want to go skydiving, man.
I would love to go skydiving.
Bungee jumping was
awesome.
One of the fucking most exhilarating things I've ever done in my entire life, man. And so I had a Superman fucking shirt on. It had a cape. And then these dudes that were working at the thing, going over how I go off and how I don't jump and I just fall and all this stuff. Put your arms out, just look up, and then just go. And I was standing there for a minute and a half. And I was all right, man, I'm gonna need you to do a little something. And just they started. We're all right, we're gonna hype you up, and they started doing what's the Star Wars theme? How does that go? Something
the main theme.
Yeah. Yeah, so they started doing something like that, and dude's that's not Superman, and so they kind of fucked it up and made me laugh, and I was all right, guys, don't worry about that, just count to 3.
Nice.
And I did it, and it was worth it. Everyone needs to face their fears, man.
I completely agree.
Yeah, it's important. Whatever it is, go kill a spider.
Go befriend a spider.
Even that, man. Okay. As a child, did you have a fort or a tree house?
So as I said, we moved around a bit when I was a kid. We actually spent 5 years in Washington, D.C. because my dad was the Washington correspondent. And I always wanted a tree house or something. And I was pretty young, so I can't remember how it ended up there, but what I had was a plank of wood nailed to a tree.
But it was dope.
And it was awesome, and I loved it. It was literally there was one plank of wood in a tree near the house that, I can't remember if my dad had put it there and then given up, or it was just there. But it was just, in the crook of the tree, there's one plank, so you could just, perch on it. It was awesome. That was my tree house.
All right. Yeah, like I was kind of saying earlier, I raised in foster homes and lived with my Nana briefly. I was never really with my parents. And at one point I moved to BC. And when I moved to BC, it was with my Nana, but she was getting older. And so she was I wasn't gonna live with her anymore. You know, I was gonna go live with my cousin. He was a little younger. He was just like about to get married. His soon to be wife had a daughter, and so like there was like this family thing, and they lived on like this property that was like 140 acres. It was on Vancouver Island, and it used to be a farm, just big property, and at like the end of the backyard. Like my cousin, he was my cousin technically, but I kind of called him my uncle for a while. It was like this weird thing, but he's actually my cousin. His name's Greg. He was like, oh, let's build you a treehouse. And so he made this like really dope thing. And it was like, there's some tall trees in BC and it was pretty high. And one day, like, it's like done and we put like a bunch of like old, like, car seats and stuff in there. We had like mattresses, had like a dope roof. It wasn't fully closed, but like we could like go in there now. And I got a bunch of like buddies over and we like slept in there one night. And fucking bears, bro.
Really?
Bears.
Shit.
Well, I don't know if it was bears plural or just one bear.
I think any amount of bears is scary in that scenario.
Yeah, and so like we slept and then like we were woken up. And, like, I played in it a bit, but I never slept in it again, like, overnight.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Bears are quick, and they can climb, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can all bears climb?
I don't know if all bears can climb.
Is it black? I feel like black bears can climb, and maybe grizzlies can't?
I'm not educated in the bear world,
I'm
but
not
I've
either.
seen
I'm trying to remember what people used to say about how you should escape from different bears. But I'm also like... They say that, and I'm like, I would never be able to tell you when a bear's coming towards me. Be like, don't worry, it's a black bear.
I got this, guys. Yeah.
I'd be like, it's a bear, fucking run. At which point, it would probably just chase me down and eat me.
They're quick, man. Have you seen them without their fur, though?
Yes, it's terrifying.
It is. It's crazy.
So that's the thing. It's like when people say, if you're afraid of speaking in front of a crowd, just imagine them naked. If you're afraid of being attacked by a bear, imagine them naked.
What are you gonna do, bitch?
Yeah, you look weird with no fur.
Yeah, fucking weird.
And the bear's just gonna be disheartened and be like, man,
all right.
why'd you have to go there? Like,
Shucks.
Fucking rude. I'm leaving.
Alright, dude, well, I guess we'll get out of here.
Cool.
You can let these people know where to get at you if you like.
I don't know. Follow me on Instagram. It's @MatesLeo. Or is that @LeoMates? Can't remember. It's one of the two. Look up Leo Mates.
That's it.
You look for my music on Spotify. Do that. Yeah.
Do that.
It's Leo Mates again. You got to really search for it though, because it's not got a lot of listens. Yeah. Other than that, just come find me and I'll say hi.
Thank you for being here, brother.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Guys, like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by the Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. I will see you in 2 weeks, I guess. Peace the fuck out.
Peace.